Hi, Celine. Hi, Logan. How are you?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm good. Congratulations on Caddo Lake. I was hooked as soon as I started the film. The atmosphere is haunting, and I felt so tense because of the pace of the story. It's very gripping, and I think the music also added to the experience. And so, the pace of with which we changed time dimensions and things like this. And I was wondering, I was really curious to know, how did you and when did you decide of the pace of the film, storytelling wise? When did that happen? When writing the script and filming?
I mean, the first draft of the story actually just had one protagonist. And we were playing with this idea of traveling and time jumping, but it was within one character. And so it became a problem and like wasn't as exciting as we thought. So there was this big unlock when it became two characters for us. And what that allows you to do is intercut. And so you can shave off the beginning and shave off the ending of scenes. And I think we always knew that we wanted to make like a really propulsive thriller.
Our favorite part of our first feature was the last third in pacing wise.
Hmm.
It's the favorite part to edit. Logan edits all of our stuff. So we felt like we wanted to live more in this thriller space, and a way to do that is through kind of like this propulsive type of storytelling.
I love that there are a few hints of the time period we're in every time we watch a scene. It's very minimal. It's very discreet because we don't want to give away the final twist, obviously. But then again, I was wondering when that type of decisions happen, when you're writing the script, because I mean, you're like, okay, there's not going to be any computer in that room, and then there's an iPhone. And
Yeah.
then it's very minimal, and you're like, you wanna show it, but you don't want the spectators to see it in a way. So when does that take place when you're writing the script?
Well, I think just like the idea of I'm gonna shoot something that takes place in the 1970s. You're not gonna have everybody walking on the street in like the latest fashion because that doesn't happen today.
Yeah.
Like in 20, 40 years in the future, if they make something set in 2024, people would just be wearing still what we're wearing from like the 1990s in a way. Like that's so we
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that those choices, felt very subtle because you don't have that kind of as in your face as often as we think of period pieces doing that.
Yeah. And so I like that the props are in a way the characters in this movie, because exactly as you said, there might be a problem with the technology surrounding the characters, but then again you're like, well, maybe they just don't have the means to have the latest
Exactly. Yeah.
technology. That's just like, because it's the same for us right now.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's, so you drive down certain parts of around Caddo and the neighborhoods and you feel like you could be, in a completely different decade.
Yeah.
And something that like felt perfect about the location that we found too is that it sort of was able to serve all these different times.
Exactly. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the location as well, because filming in the bayou, I think is how you say it. I just, it gives the atmosphere that we're all craving for right now. We like this kind of very tense, eerie atmosphere. And I was wondering what the biggest challenge for you to film in that location, because we see the characters really having difficulties with the different like the depth of the water and stuff like that. So I was wondering if you faced any type of difficulties as well.
Yeah, I mean, some of these locations are just swampland, and then you have crew moving through that location and cast walking through it and resetting to do multiple takes. So what was started as, sometimes just like a little bit of mud quickly became, 2, 3 feet deep worth of mud because you're just churning the water and the dirt. So it was incredibly challenging conditions. Some of the, locations we have to take very small boats through these pathways. So you can only bring you just like the bare minimum number of crew and equipment that you need. So it was, the crew and the size of the film actually got quite small sometimes when we would take like these half-hour boating trips out to the middle of nowhere on the lake.
I was wondering if you could just talk about collaborating with Mr. M. Night Shyamalan, because I feel like, this is really his type of story. It felt like watching something he could have directed, but in a way, you just did your own thing, but knowing that it was produced by Night Shyamalan, it was like, okay, there's gonna be a massive plot twist, and I was wondering if if that was your decision, or if you collaborated with him as well on this decision. When did he really add it to the experience for you?
He read maybe like third, fourth draft of the script, maybe like third, and he said, let's do it. And we worked a little bit on the script in pre-production, but and in production especially, he watched the dailies every day, and he was on set for a few days. Post-production, he was heavily involved, in the best way possible. He is a master at knowing your audience in things that we are never even thinking about, in ways to he blew our minds over and over and over again in the way that we should tell this type of story. And we feel like we're new filmmakers after having worked with him.
I wish I had more time to speak with you, because I would noticed so many details in the film that I wish we could have talked about more, like the crocodile being cut like straight, and then the rope at the end being cut as well. And you don't see the crocodile being cut, but you know that's when it happens. So this type of things, I love to. Yeah,
Every day, if we will talk.
Yeah.
exactly. Is this a type of stuff I love to geek out about? But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations, really, it's such a great film, and I hope I will see you soon.
Thank you
Really
so
hope
much.
so. Bye.